Hello, my name's Andrew O'Brien. I'm Director of External Affairs at Social Enterprise UK. It's a delight to be able to speak to you at the Social Enterprise Leaders Forum, and I'm only sorry I can't be there in person, but the pandemic has caused problems for everyone around the world, but it's great to be able to, at least virtually, have this conversation. Social enterprise in the UK, like across the world, has seen significant difficulties in operating through this pandemic. But instead of contracting and retreating, as you might expect, given the whirlwind of economic and social impact that we've seen from the pandemic, the social enterprise sector in the UK has actually been thriving and adapting. And it's been able to do that in large part because of the solidarity between government, business, consumers, society, and the social enterprise sector. Shouldn't be a surprise to us. People love social enterprises. They like the idea of social enterprise, the view that you can use trade to have a positive impact on the environment and on society. And social enterprises for many years have been developing loyalties between their customers, their clients, and the state to ensure that they can deliver their social and environmental mission. But COVID really tested those relationships. But I'm pleased to say that because of the work of social enterprises, we've been able to get through this. And we've seen that through three distinct phases. The first has been around what you could call traditional customer and client loyalty. We run a Buy Social Corporate Challenge, which has some of the largest companies in the UK buying from social enterprises and putting those social enterprises into their supply chains. And what those companies have done is not to retreat from those relationships, but to keep buying from those social enterprises and finding ways to keep spending with them, knowing the value that they create for their communities. And that's because of the hard work and graft that social enterprises have put in to engaging with those corporate suppliers, and to some extent the brokering relationship that we here at Social Enterprise UK have been able to deliver. But we've also seen the same happen for individual consumers. People have, when they've been able to go out and spend with social enterprises, try to find ways to make sure their money can go further. And social enterprises have been able to continue to keep those relationships with those consumers going through what's been a very challenging economic circumstance. The other way that social enterprises have been able to keep that solidarity is through adaptation. We've seen a huge shift from social enterprises delivering their products through traditional face-to-face or B2B, business-to-business relationships, to digital delivery. And a large portion of the sector has been able to shift some or all of its activity online to reach more people and to keep those relationships intact. That pivoting away from face-to-face to digital during the pandemic has been critical. And some social enterprises will keep that digital aspect of their work going past the pandemic, but others will now, because that's what consumers, that's what their clients want, will now be transitioning back towards face-to-face activity. And the final element we've been able to do is through support from government. It hasn't been always the easiest relationship during this pandemic. There were times when it was very hard to get government to understand the unique situation that social enterprises face. But thanks to work from Social Enterprise UK and the sector itself in making that case to government, we've been able to get hundreds of millions of pounds worth of emergency grant support out into the sector to keep those businesses going. We've been able to give tax support to enable social enterprises to keep trading and discounted loans as well to keep that cash flow. And that relationship with the state has been very important during the past 12 months and will continue to be important as we look to build back better from this historic pandemic. But all taken all together, that loyalty from customers and clients, that pivoting and adaptability of social enterprises, and that emergency support and recognition from the state about the value of social enterprises, taken together, that solidarity has enabled the social enterprise sector to get through that very, very difficult period we just experienced. But going forward, I think, if anything, the bonds between social enterprises, business, society and the state is getting stronger. It's getting stronger in part because of the impact that social enterprises have made through the pandemic. Social enterprises have stepped up where other businesses have not been prepared to do so. They have kept their staff in their business and not laid off people unless they absolutely have to do so. They've been prepared to invest in their people, in their places, to go the extra mile in providing emergency support to families and communities in their area. And that's really shone through, and people are starting to recognise the unique power that social enterprises have and their commitment to people and to places. We've also got some systemic economic and social challenges, and importantly an environmental challenge. As you will be aware, this year the COP26 is being hosted in Glasgow in the United Kingdom, and this is bringing together the world leaders to again make fresh commitments to tackle climate change and to move towards a zero carbon future. And social enterprises are at the forefront of delivering that. Our first solar powered bus in this country was delivered by a social enterprise. We were pioneering sustainable fashion and finding ways to reduce plastics in our supply chains many years before the rest of the private sector were doing so. And that long-term patient commitment towards tackling those economic and social and environmental challenges is why businesses, government and society are starting to see the real value in working with our sector. So that combination of pressing social and environmental challenge, as well as the track record that social enterprises have shown, not just during the pandemic, but beforehand as well, but particularly during this pandemic, has really created new bonds and new interest in the social enterprise movement. And I think that's not just going to be a phenomenon in the United Kingdom, but will be one in Korea and around the world. People want to see and feel change, and social enterprises are showing how it can be done and are doing it at a level of consistency and success that we're not seeing in other parts of our economy. I suppose my words of advice, or tips, if you will, for countries and people around the world about how to grow their social enterprise sector, I think there are three main ways that you can help to grow and sustain your social enterprise sector through consumer solidarity and business solidarity. The first, I would say, is focusing on the impact and the results that your social enterprises are generating. We here at Social Enterprise UK collect a lot of data about social enterprise, and that has enabled us to be able to make a really strong case for why social enterprises are so important for our future, whether it's around the net zero and the carbon reductions that we need to see, whether it's around job creation, working in our poorest communities, helping people with disadvantage. We have the data, we have the evidence to show that social enterprises are doing more than other forms of business, and that breeds interest in social enterprise. It encourages people to buy from social enterprises. It encourages people in government and in business to invest in social enterprises and to see the value of our sector. The second thing I would say is to be confident about social enterprise as business. People are aware that we have huge systemic challenges taking place, not just in the UK, but around the world. And that's going to require huge changes to our economy and to the way that we do business. And pigeonholing social enterprise or putting social enterprise into the box of philanthropy it diminishes the potential, the transformational potential that this business model can have. So it's really important to make sure that people understand that we are businesses. We are trying to change the world through trade. We are sustainable. We are people who are going to be here for the long haul. We're not just going to pop up, ask for your money, and then disappear in a few years' time. We're looking to build businesses which can sustain themselves and thrive and contribute for many years ahead. And that long-term vision and that business focus, showing that we are focused on our sustainability, that encourages people to stick with you because they know that this is not just another charity appeal. This isn't just another one-off. This is really about making huge systemic changes to the way that we do business. And the final element, I guess, is to think more about that digital and advertising and marketing of social enterprise. We are seeing a lot of what you could call social wash or greenwash. This is where companies say that they're going to be socially and environmentally impactful, but when you look behind the rhetoric and the words, you can't always see that action. And that, in a way, is because social enterprises and others have been making such big strides in encouraging consumers to think again about how business should operate and what a good business looks like. But we have to adapt to that as well. We have to raise our game and be ever more transparent, ever more vocal about the impact that we have and the importance that businesses follow through with their commitments. So I would really encourage all social enterprises around the world to take the fight to the rest of the private sector, to the government, to the consumers to some extent, and to tell them, if you really believe in social and environmental change, then you have to buy from companies which you can trust and rely on to deliver that. And social enterprises are a primary example of that. They're not the only example, but they are at the forefront of delivering that change. And we need to be calling out those businesses, those policies from government, and sometimes even the consumer behavior and the purchasing decisions that consumers are making, to say, well, hang on, why are you doing it that way? Do you really know whether that money is going towards making a better future for our society and to protect our planet? Where is the data? Where is the evidence around that? And can we showcase how social enterprises really can be trusted to deliver on that agenda? So I hope that's a very useful overview of some of the ways in which we've adapted here in the UK to the pandemic, and looking forward what the story can be for social enterprise. But I look forward to hearing from the rest of you during this forum, and I hope that the rest of the conversations go well. But thank you very much again for the invitation. We stand with you here in the United Kingdom in solidarity with our peers in Korea to do this effectively, and hopefully we can continue to make progress as a global social enterprise movement towards the social and environmental change that we need to see. Thank you very much.